Hey, Dr. Shelby, great seeing you. What's going on?
Oh, we have some great conversations that I'd love to have today. And this is, well, it's a bit of a paradox, but the worst advice ever given to people. And let me just dive in a little bit more of what I mean. So just be grateful. Anyone
Mhm.
here has heard that before? Or just don't try so hard. Just be yourself. Or how about the other one? Let it go. You know, something happens to you, just let it go. Or what about don't take it personally? You know,
Yeah.
it's not you. Or, just forgive as soon as you forgive. While all of this does have wisdom in it, and that, if you get to a state of gratitude, if you are able to not take things personally, it has massive impact on the quality of your life. The
Mhm.
thing is, though, just to say that actually has no impact. The question really is, how do you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that when I've had those times when people give me those kinds of advices, which just really fluffy, the kind of fluffy advices, it's not really just a general comment, then I actually become more frustrated because it's like you just actually haven't helped. You just have just added because I'm like, how do I do this? Of course I need to let it go, but how do I do that? Of course I don't want to worry about it, but how? And so I think that's where the gold is when you can answer that next layer of question. How do you actually let something go? How do you actually forgive someone for something? How do you actually not worry about it? So
Yeah, don't worry. That's a
yeah,
great one.
worry about it. Dwabi, don't worry about it.
I love that. Yeah. There's been so many times where I've experienced, and you know what, I've probably even said it myself to people is, there's been times where I'm just crying, I'm upset, I'm really emotional. And they're like, you see like even a post on Instagram, it's like, just be grateful,
Yeah.
just be grateful for your life. And in the moment, the reason why it's so challenging is because all those emotions, it actually takes you to a very different part of your brain. And
Mm.
that's your amygdala, the limbic center. And when that is hyper alert, that is that survival state. So to tell, someone who perceives in their mind and in their physiology, they think they're running away from a tiger, and you're just saying, just be grateful. It just doesn't link up and make sense. And when you have an open heart and you're grateful and you've forgiven people and you're not worried, you're in a state of balance and equanimity, both in your mind and body, that's a different part of your brain.
Yep.
So just to conceptually tell someone, be grateful, don't worry, let it go. What you're really asking them to do is get out of your limbic center in your brain. The challenge becomes, how do we do that?
How do you do it? Well, quality questions, I think, is the answer by asking. So that's what I love. When we have someone that's in a state of, stress, asking the right questions can elicit the answers that can show you how to be grateful and how to let things go. Because that's where, it's all in the perception. If you're not being grateful for something, there's a perception that there's something that's happened that you're not grateful for. Obviously, you think maybe it's more bad than good. And so the quality questions would be, how has that event served you, and what's the opposite of what you think, and come and balance those emotions. And that is where you get into the state of grace, and that's when things get let go. You don't just let it go because you proclaim, I'm going to let this go. It doesn't work, because if you haven't truly let it go because you found the balance and are grateful, it will always keep coming back to you. You'll keep attracting it over and over in new forms until you learn the lesson, because that's why we're here, is to be grateful for ourselves and the events in our lives. Plus you don't get to learn the lessons from the thing. If you just say, I'm just going to let it go, you haven't learned anything. You haven't learned why. You haven't learned anything about, well, I'm just going to be grateful for this. You haven't really learned. So I think there's a lot of important points to this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the ultimate question just becomes, it's like, Well, how do I know if I let it go? How do I know if I've really, truly forgiven someone? How do I know if I'm actually truly grateful, or if it's this superficial intellectual thing? It really becomes like, for forgiveness, when you have balanced the scales of your perception of what has happened in an event, forgiveness isn't actually even necessary, because you see that in each moment there is both challenge and support, positive and negative, benefits and drawbacks. And so the forgiveness actually becomes irrelevant. And there's physiological responses that will happen in your body to let you know you've actually changed into a different part of your brain. You can get a tear of gratitude. You can feel your heart opening. Your body feels at ease. Your whole physiology starts to regulate. Your heart rate slows down. Your blood pressure slows down. All of these are actually true signs of, open-hearted, true gratitude.
Yeah. That's why it's so important to learn how to decipher your body's symptoms and physiological changes, so you can determine how are you feeling. Because when you have an emotional charge for something or not grateful, your physiology, somewhere in your physiology, is going to shift. And when you bring yourself back into state of gratitude, it will shift again. And so you're right, you see all these signs and symptoms, and you start sleeping better, your breath changes, you're more relaxed, and you're probably a hell of a lot nicer to your partner, those kind of things. So those are the things that it's important to learn how to master, deciphering your body's symptoms, because it'll give you some really great insights on, am I truly over this? Do I still have a charge for this? Do I still have work to do? So, and this is the stuff that I know we both in our teachings and our learnings, we teach this kind of things, and it's very powerful when you can learn how to do it on your own.
Yeah. So if you find that something's happened to you and you're not grateful for it, and you have let it go, but for whatever reason you think of that person, or you're in the same room as them and you want to take some cause and take some action with them.
Yeah.
These are signs that there's still some stuff to work on. There's still some stuff that's there that can be integrated in mind and body to regulate your health, bring vitality, bring wellness. This is what we're experts at. So Dr. Dave, where can people find you if they'd love to reach out and connect?
drdavetuck.com, my website. You go fill out a little form and just do a little analysis of your stress in your life, or you can go to my Facebook page as well. So how about yourself? Where are we going to find you?
If you'd love to set up a conversation about any of the topics that we've discussed and how it could optimize what's going on in your life, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or connect with me on my website, www.drshelbyhson.com.
All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you again soon.
Peace.